Welcome back to the McChats fan commentary for the Daredevil Netflix series here on McGTV, youtube.com/Mike McGTV. And as always, I'm joined here for this fan commentary by a fellow Three Geeks member over at Three Geeks Network on YouTube, Mr. Max Andrews. Welcome back, Max.
Thank you, and hello.
Hello again. And also be sure to check out the premiere episode of To the Chat Cave, another podcast Max and I do on here where we talk about another brooding vigilante who patrols city streets at night and beats up thugs.
I'm not biased or anything, but that's a really good podcast. It was full of insight and all kinds of good things. I think those guys who are doing that one, To the Chat Cave, I really like them.
There you go. So check out the latest sensation for the Bat Nation over there. So we're going to pick up again where we left off here with the third episode of season 1. But before we get into that, I want to kind of ask Max or pick Max's brain about this idea of like shows that are worth revisiting. And because Daredevil definitely is a show I have now seen many more times. Now that I know we do these commentaries, I want to try to, make sure I got my ducks in a row with it, and I like to rewatch a lot of episodes and rewatch certain moments from key episodes. Is there any other series, Max, that you have seen that you find yourself revisiting from time to time just for the sake of revisiting?
Yeah, I think a lot of the shows that I end up like rewatching happen to be on HBO. Like I really like season 3 of The Wire. I feel like that's just really like one of the best put together shows on television, and I love that one. So that's probably like my top revisit show. Also Breaking Bad, I think you can just kind of pop in anywhere for that show, and then it's solid. And then other than that, just it's pretty much all cartoons for me. Batman the Animated Series, Samurai Champloo, things like that.
Yeah, I was about to say, it's like, yeah, I find myself revisiting Batman the Animated Series quite a bit. I find myself also revisiting a lot of the early Whedon stuff, like a lot of the Buffy stuff. Definitely Angel seasons 1 and 2, I feel are very rewatchable for me because it is very much, it's episodic and formulaic, but at the same time, I feel a lot of like the great character moments come from those first 2 seasons. So I just like revisiting that stuff from time to time. So,
Firefly too. Episode 15 of Firefly, the 2-hour special that they released in theaters, that was really good too.
Yeah, that 2-hour special. That was named after the pilot, which is weird. But no, you bring up another good point. Yeah, Firefly. That one season can do me well. Like, it would have been great to have more seasons of it, but you know what? I'm okay with the one.
Yeah,
there's still jokes I laugh at. There's still character moments I really enjoy. It's like, I feel like as long as the jokes are always fresh with you and the effective character moments are equally as terrifying or as moving as they were when you first saw them, that's a sign of a long-standing show.
Yeah. Like, okay, I'm gonna get super nerdy. My favorite episode of Firefly is Objects in Space. And I think that's the finale.
Yeah.
And I also liked Our Mrs. Reynolds.
Yeah, that was kind of funny. Kind of the Objects in Space, I like for the dialogue just because they introduced that one dude, Jubal, who's just out there. And you can tell, like, it's Whedon had something to do with the writing of that episode because that dialogue is just fun. And yeah, Our Mrs. Reynolds, the way the way a certain person tries to seduce other people is very funny. How they play off of everyone's kind of like vulnerabilities in that, but also the humor is pretty good too. But anyways, we're not here to talk about those series. Moving on from that, that's another podcast or fan commentary entirely. Maybe I should just dedicate my whole channel to fan commentaries from here on out.
I'm in there with you.
Let's do it for Batman, for Firefly, for The Wire.
I mean, with Batman, we got multiple shows to do commentary of too.
Oh, dude, we could make a killing off of that. There's like 500 plus episodes of whatever type of Batman show. All right, but we're here to talk about the little Hell's Kitchen hero in the not quite a little hero, but
Charlie Cox isn't that big of a guy.
no, yeah, he's kind of a pipsqueak when you put him next to, say, like a Chris Hemsworth or a Hulk or whatever. Yeah, it's like, but at the same time, just trying to making it on his own. He's gonna make it after all. That's a Mary Tyler Moore expression. Yeah, he's the little hero that could in the Marvel universe. Says he's just got one neighborhood to kind of rein in and control. And we're here with episode 3, Snowstorm, or Rabbit in a Snowstorm, which is the title lifted off of the piece that Wilson Fisk was observing, or will
he observes it in this episode.
Yeah, he will be observing in that episode. Spoilers, sorry. Anyways, tequila's fun. Let's just say that. So we're gonna start up here, and obviously you've probably seen the episode already, but have a good laugh and come along with us on this fan commentary. You won't hear audio from the episode on our copy for copyright issues, of course, but you can follow along. Just simply have your episode 3 synced up to 0 starting point on the player, and when I count down from 3 to, what should the word be today instead of play? What should it be?
Sibilance?
Sibilance? All right. So we'll go 3, 2, 1, sibilance, and then we're off. And feel free to listen along to us just have fun with this episode. All right. You ready, Max?
I am absolutely ready, sir. Oh, and hold on. No, I'm not ready. Hold on. Okay.
You either cracked open a fresh beverage or snapped someone's back. I couldn't tell which one that was.
Yeah, I just got attacked real quick by 3 foot ninjas, or hand ninjas rather.
Same thing.
I had to dispatch them.
Very
One
nice.
blow.
One blow is all it took for 3.
Anyway, yes, I'm ready. Let's do this thing.
All right, here we go. 3, 2, 1, sibilance. And Netflix. Now, I heard Netflix is coming out with like 15, 16 new shows this year.
Mm-hmm.
Hopefully a majority of them are good. It's like,
We're having Daredevil season 2 this year. And I think maybe Jessica Jones season 2? Or are they doing Luke Cage first?
Was Jessica Jones season 2 even like officialized yet or made official yet?
Maybe not.
Huh.
Maybe I'm just imagining good things in my head. But all right, here we are in Russian prison.
No, we're what?
On the episode. They're in a Russian prison.
No, they're not.
Am I not on the right episode?
Episode 3 has bowling in it.
Aha, it's bowling. I'm on the wrong episode. Oh, no.
Well, I'll just keep talking.
I'm on episode 4. How did that happen?
It happens. Whatever. We'll keep moving. Anyways, there's a bowling alley scene going on here. And this Louis C.K. looking dude, except skinnier and frankly a little bit scarier looking, is roughing up some mobster guy. Or not roughing up. He's kind of harassing him in a way. But letting on there's more to him than meets the eye. As he lays out some judo moves.
Tell me when you get to 24. Oh, you already passed 24 hours earlier.
Yeah, I'm at 1:23 here. Okay. And he's aiming the gun at him. You got a bad attitude, friend. 36 hours earlier.
Awesome. We're right on time.
All right. And then we come back to this dude who was in the first.
My favorite character.
It seems
your
like
random, seedy, like drug dealing guy.
Human slave trafficker.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. He does get around, doesn't he?
Is it just me, or is like as the episodes go on, he gets progressively worse looking because he keeps getting beat on?
Yeah, he does run into Daredevil a few times, unfortunately for his face.
Now, with regards to like the time frame of this this first season, what would you estimate how much time goes by in this first season? A month, couple of months?
I would say it's a couple of months, just because like some serious stuff goes down, and you got to figure. Time, because like let's say whenever Daredevil gets seriously injured, it's not like just the next day where he comes back and he's totally fine and he's out there again. He does take like significant breaks to heal.
yeah, definitely. Or he needs oh wow,
yeah,
bones sticking out of skin. I forgot about that.
Yeah, I just love this show.
But yeah,
And that's a
so
bowling ball to the dome piece.
yeah. I mean, we've probably seen that at some point in other shows or movies, but never so aggressively.
Yeah.
I would hate to work in this lane. But this is the first episode, kind of setting up officially Wilson Fisk. Even though we've heard his voice before, he's been hinted at, but this is the first time we'll actually like see him. But he still doesn't show up until about the very end.
Yeah, yeah. I think he's just in the last scene.
And also, this is kind of the first episode where we actually see Matt and Foggy in court.
Right, doing lawyer stuff.
Yeah, actually doing lawyer stuff. And
isn't this the only episode where they do lawyer stuff?
I don't know. There might be some kind of like brief scenes later on.
Because there's definitely like scenes at the police station.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't think that they're ever like in court again.
Yeah, that is true. Yeah, they do make a lot of visits to like lock up and so forth. But, yeah, this might be the only courtroom scene. I don't know. So much for me revisiting some. You think I'd remember that? But it's one of those where that was an aspect, and I know this might be a common theme of these commentaries, man. I'll keep coming back to 2003's film fiasco. But honestly, it's one of those things that was sorely lacking from the movie, was a lot of the courtroom stuff. Like his profession was hardly even a thing. It was just like,
yeah, there's only one court scene in the movie.
But actually, you know what? In the director's cut, there's a whole subplot with, I believe, Coolio.
Huh.
Coolio's playing. They're trying to get Coolio off the hook and everything like that.
Yeah.
And because he's innocent of a crime, and it's tied into the Kingpin story. But yeah, it's like
loosely.
there's more courtroom drama going on in that director's cut. But anyways,
I like this priest. He's a really solid character, and I like the idea of like, you know, there are priests like that out in the world who, you know, because this guy, he's not, you know, he's seen it all, I want to say. And you know, but like he doesn't let you know, he's not jaded, but he obviously still has his faith and everything. But you know, he's a realist, and I like that. And I like the guy that got to play him, and I wish I knew his name.
Yeah, that's true.
Internet in. Where did I put my phone?
I mean, they had a character like this in the movie, but they didn't do nearly enough with him. He was just kind of there. I like the conversations that he has here in this. He was the one that Matt confessed to in the first episode, correct?
Yes. Yes.
Yeah. See, and that was the thing. That shows what a great show it is, that's just got actual like real life characters. Because at one point in a lesser series, I would have anticipated that he was going to turn out to be like a bad guy or a snitch.
Or they definitely would have at least like made him to, you know, they would have caught him and beat him, roughed him up a little bit. And then
that still happens at some point in this series. People close to Matt get caught and roughed up.
Well, yeah, but not the priest.
All right, here we go. One of my favorite characters from the series right now, sauntering up to an informant.
I like this scene too, just because like it kind of lets you feel how afraid people are of the Kingpin.
Yeah, that's true.
Because this dude, he won't say his name. He won't give up anything. He doesn't even give him anything. He just tells him to get the hell out of Dodge, pretty much.
Yeah, and that's what I love too about the character of Ben Urich as well, is that no matter how many people are telling him like, don't do this, don't pursue this, he's not going to back down. Even though, as we find out later on, he's got a lot personally at stake besides just his career or his life, even his own life. And I think that's what makes him for a great character. Like I was mentioning before in a previous commentary, is that none of these characters feel wasted in this series. Everyone's got something worthwhile to show off and to do with regards to story arcs. And Ben Urich definitely gets a really sympathetic story arc in this first season.
Yeah, yep. I like that they went with this guy for Ben Urich too, because he just brings it home. He's got that that seriousness to him, and he's always got that edge. Like you'd figure that a real reporter who's had to deal with eight 8 tons of crap his whole career.
Yeah.
He doesn't ever play around. He's like, this is what needs to happen. X, Y, and Z. It's like you can get out, but I'm already in it.
Yeah, it's way better than what Joey Pantoliano was doing.
Yeah. I mean,
hey,
you gotta.
Hey, I'm Ben Urich. Hey, are you the Daredevil? Just checking. I was Cypher in the Matrix. It's okay.
He's like, hold up, let me light this match and throw it on the ground real quick.
Okay, going off topic. Well, not really off topic, but going to that. How did he know to do that, for starters?
Oh, dude, because he's such a Daredevil master. Like he knows Daredevil's every move.
And how did Daredevil know how to put that down when he's blind?
He's Daredevil, dude.
And how did he know someone would flick a cigarette right there?
Because he called Ben Urich and told him to flick the cigarette right where he put the Daredevil sign.
And another important question, why are you defending all that stuff, dude? It's a terrible movie.
So it can't just be us both shitting on that movie.
Okay, you're being devil's advocate.
Yeah. Well, and there's some good stuff in the movie, right?
I guess, sure. Anyways, back to this, which is nothing but great stuff.
Yes.
Yeah, this is where he's saying it's like, take a pass on this one, Benny. You gotta love New York character actors.
Yep.
I have a friend who lives in New York right now, and he's like on every show that's shooting in New York. I think he showed up on Gotham maybe once.
Oh, that poor bastard.
Yeah, but he played like a mafioso type, and then he also played like a bad guy in The Blacklist and everything like that. It's like fun. And here we go. Yay, Foggy and Karen. Adorable.
Yep. They're great friends.
Now, at this point, this is the episode where she takes she's offered the deal to stay silent, right? From her prior problems with that United group or whatever.
Right. United Allied Alliance.
And this is really where her arc takes off too, because from here on out, she's like, nope, I'm not going to back down from this, and keeps it to herself.
Yeah, and I mean, like, this is where she really like starts to show she's got spine and she's not, easily frightened, or even to the point where, to the detriment of her,
Right. Well, I mean, you got to see it from her perspective too. It's like she's already been through the emotional ringer. Like, she's had dead people in her apartment. She's been almost been killed in her apartment, saved by a masked man.
Then she almost got killed in jail.
And then there's that mysterious past that hasn't been elaborated on yet, but everyone keeps referring to.
Yeah, in the comic books, did we talk about this already?
I believe so, no. I don't think we've gotten really into Karen's backstory in the comics, but
in the comics,
it's not pleasant.
She did a little bit of porno in her youth. And yeah, that's that.
And didn't she end up being HIV positive?
Yes.
Yeah, that's what it happened. Yeah, that's right.
But
no, I wonder if they will kind of incorporate that aspect into her in the next season, like getting a little bit more to her background.
At least touch on, they're already halfway there. So, I mean, I don't know how far they're going to go with it, but I mean, it's already, set up for something to go down.
Yeah. And speaking of something going down, Wesley.
This guy is probably like my favorite new character.
Actually, after our last commentary, I was curious. I did do a little bit of looking or snooping around into. He was in the Born Again arc briefly. He's not like a major character, I guess, but I mean, he's there in the background as a supporting player for the Kingpin.
Right.
But I like the way he's conveyed here, where like he's given a lot to do.
Yeah. And yeah, it just makes sense, like he's the face of the Kingpin, but he's just this lawyer, business type, and he's always pretty professional, except for when he gets a little lippy over here. But
the dynamic here is awesome too, being like, here we're looking for new blood, looking for new talent, essentially, and Foggy's kind of all about it up to a point, but you gotta love Murdoch and his ability to know when people are BSing.
Yeah, that's fair. But like, I think if you're going someplace, you should at least. He doesn't have to tell him that Wilson Fisk is his boss, but like, make up a name. Like, why would you not give a name? Who would honestly sign up for that? Like.
Yeah. I was kind of wondering that too at one point in the series. It's like, okay, no one, Wilson Fisk doesn't want anyone to know that he's the proponent behind it. Why not set up a fall guy, essentially?
Yeah.
Or at least, yeah, why not set up someone? I mean, obviously, he's got the connections and resources to frame people for things.
Yeah.
Or for people to take the fall, or for people to disappear completely. So it's like, I'm kind of wondering, why isn't there more than just Wesley as a front for the Kingpin? Why isn't there just some schlub who?
Well, I mean, like, they wouldn't even have to get a real person. Like, they could just make somebody up.
Yeah.
Get all the paperwork put through. Act like the person exists.
Yeah, he exists on paper, essentially. Yeah.
But whatever. They went this way.
Yeah, I mean, it still works.
They didn't consult me before they went to shoot. So.
Well, you got to think of it this way. It's like, you know what? We only got the budget for 13 episodes. If we incorporate a fall guy or a fake identity in here, we're at least going to go to 16 episodes with that.
I mean, like, yeah, just be another 20 minutes of exposition explaining what was going on.
Which, honestly, I could watch anyways, but whatever.
I'm totally down.
And I love the continuity that's coming up here when he's following him too, and the fact that like he's still bleeding from his fight in the previous episode.
Like, he stays hurt. It's great. Like, it's just he's a guy. That's the thing. He's just a guy, and he bleeds. He gets cut, and he's got to worry about those things.
And again, I mentioned this before in previous episodes, how they stylize his honing in on sounds. So much more effective than just CGIing like X-ray shots or whatever they would do, with a big budget.
Yeah, man. Like, I think that constraints are a good thing for any artist or whatever. Just because, like, when you let somebody 100% just do whatever they want to, they don't hear or don't allow themselves the criticisms of others, or even like, hey, we just absolutely can't do this because of X.
Yeah.
You make people get creative in different ways, and you also get different input and stuff like that, and the whole thing ends up better. So
it's like what I was talking about with Dan on our podcast a couple of days ago, where we talking about low budget movies and Z grade cinema, where it's like, sure, the finished product might not be feature film quality, but you know what? You cut some costs and you're able to think creatively around a problem.
Yeah.
I feel like they do that quite a bit, with this series. Not that it doesn't look schlocky or anything. It looks really well done, but like where they're actually using like real stuntmen and stuff like that, as opposed to like a digital Daredevil leaping around fighting people. But at the same time, you'll notice like shots of the action they're really up close. They're really personal. It's not like elaborate wire work at all or anything like that.
Yeah, they never make him do anything that's not completely outside the realm of like physical possibility. So,
yeah.
Like, and this one's good too. Since Daredevil doesn't have any powers, you don't need him to do anything extra.
Mm-hmm.
Like, they also handled it really well in Jessica Jones.
Yeah. Like whenever she had to leap up from place to place,
or whenever she's doing super strengthy stuff, like it never got crazy. It's like, we're gonna do a whole Jessica Jones commentary too, right?
Yeah, so we'll get to that, but I know what you're saying. It's like, yeah, the powers are on display, but they're on display conservatively and effectively.
Yes.
And I feel like with this, especially like when you get to a Daredevil fight scene, it makes sense because I think I mentioned this before as well. I'm just repeating myself probably. And when you got 13 episodes to go through, you'll probably end up repeating certain ideas. But he's a son of a boxer, so his fighting style wouldn't be like all ninja-y, even though he has a little bit of ninja-y training, I guess, but that's not really as established yet. But he's the son of a boxer. Of course, his fighting would be up close and personal.
Yep.
Now, here's what I like about Urich's office, and this is how they get the nods to the big movie verse without having to have like Iron Man fly by or anything like that is the background Battle of New York, front page headline. I believe there's a Hulk one too where it's saying Rumble in Harlem or something like that. And there is like a blurry shot of the Hulk and the Abomination fighting. I mean, that's all you need. You don't need like, someone to be like, oh, check out this video I took of Cap and Iron Man fighting.
Yeah. Or, this building is falling down on me. I recorded this with my cell phone. Here you go.
Can you imagine how ridiculous that would be if Marvel decided to go full on like, fuck it. We're just going to, you know what? In this scene, out the window right there, a building's falling down and Loki's driving by on his ski jet. And these characters here just don't acknowledge it. They're just like business as usual, talking about Union Allied.
All right. Well, if a jet ski is called a ski-doo or a sea-doo, is Loki's thing called a sky-doo?
I guess. A squadoo. But anyways, regardless, it's good that this is rooted in reality, but still able to wink and nod at all the fantastical stuff that's taking place just a block away, maybe.
And then Ben Urich at work. He's having I would say, average reporter problems in the 21st century.
The whole print is dead thing, yeah. Or that, like, everyone doesn't want to talk about serious stuff. Let's talk about the subway system.
That doesn't exist. The non-existent subway system.
Oh, it exists.
It's going to be the pink line.
Yeah. Oh, it exists. The problem is that they do so much work on it that it might as well not exist. Take it from a guy who's had to ride the subway system many a time. It's like, yeah.
I don't think I've ever been on a subway, now that I think about it.
Really?
Yeah.
Huh. Did you go on our wait a minute, when did we meet? In middle school, right? Or was it high school?
High school.
Never mind.
You go to McCoy? Perry.
Perry.
Yeah, so yeah, it was high school.
Did you ever go on the Washington D.C. trip?
No, I wasn't on that one.
Okay, we took subways. I think maybe I've just been to D.C. so much that I've taken the subway. But yeah. Anyways, back to a stressed out Ben. Well, maybe not. Back to Matt and Foggy talking to this dude.
I like how in this scene it's Matt, like, giving him the interrogation. He's trying really hard not to seem like he's giving him interrogation.
Yeah, essentially. That's a great thing about his performance, I feel, is that, again, we mentioned it, he's very kind of calm and steady in his delivery, but there's always this twitch or this like little hint that he's like coiled up, ready to like just spring on the dude at any moment. I love too how this guy, he's been in and out of the system so many times and, obviously gotten off, clean because of what the Kingpin does for him, essentially. And then he's just like matter-of-factly and like, no, here's how it goes, guys. Believe me. I know the deal.
Lawyer things to happen, and then this and this and that. You actually don't even need to be here. Like, the guy could have represented himself, is what I think.
Yeah, honestly, yeah.
And he does a real good job of just looking off balance. Like,
yeah, like he's calm and collected too, but there's just something about it. It's unnerving.
Super creepy.
I could have sworn I have seen this mug before somewhere. I'm just not sure entirely.
Yep.
And now I love this reversal where Foggy was really kind of looking forward to this opportunity just based off the check alone, but now he's the one who's having reservations, but Matt wants to see this through just for his own interests.
He's like, this dude is super creepy, and I do not want to represent him.
And it plays well to like their interaction as kind of as best friends, essentially, where Foggy's like, dude, why do you not want this golden egg, this opportunity? And then all of a sudden he wants it and Foggy doesn't. Foggy's like, are you bipolar? What's going on here? Because he doesn't know. quite yet.
But he's got the feeling. All right. Vondi Curtis Hall plays Ben Urich.
Yeah.
And I really like that guy. And I'm trying to feed it. Peter McRobbie is the father. Or the priest.
The Padre.
The Padre. And where are you, guy?
All you need to know is his check's gonna clear. Again, just and like everyone can be bought and paid for essentially.
Yep.
And he's hoping that they just go along with it. Now, again, this kind of shows off Wesley's intimidation factor or coolness, but at the same time, it's kind of weird that this well-dressed dude comes up to you at a pinball machine.
At a bowling alley.
Yeah, at a bowling alley. He's just like, I got next, and slides a quarter seductively towards you.
Maybe you're reading a bit much into that one.
I guess, maybe. I just know if someone did that to me, I'd be like, okay, that's weird.
Where is this guy?
That's the whole deal. He's got like Clark Kent looking glasses and everything like that, but he's still, even he's like chilling as hell. That kid was like, that man clearly has a gun. That little boy was just like, I saw it. That dude has a gun.
Yeah, okay, here we go. Creepy dude's name is Alex Morph.
Of course, his last name would be Morph.
Let's see here. Let me see him.
Now, here's something I'm kind of wondering for next season. I wonder how decked out the office is going to be next season.
See, I'm hoping it's not that improved. You know?
Well, yeah, they're not going to be like, it's not going to be like, hey, new suede couch and everything like that. But
I like in this show too how, because like, you know how, you know, on Friends, there's no way that any of them would be able to afford the apartments that they live in.
Right.
Like they explained this one away just because like, okay, this is an affected area from the incident.
Yeah.
So,
and even then, like for this type of, for like an office space, you know, this is believable.
Yeah.
For a top floor office space in a bad neighborhood, like, yeah, it looks run down and it's only like 3 rooms. Now, I'm just kind of curious as like what little subtle things they're going to add to the background. Like, is there going to be is there going to be like a newspaper clipping of like the Daredevil beat the Kingpin or whatever in there?
Or Kingpin apprehended or Wilson, yada, yada. Probably. Even though, why would they hang it up like they're, because they didn't actually.
Well, at that point, Foggy and Matt will just explain that to Karen that they're just huge Daredevil fans now.
Like, just love that guy.
Speaking of Karen.
Yeah, here we are. She's getting her 20 silver pieces or whatever.
30 pieces of silver.
There you go. Yeah, whatever. But like, you got, here it is, a super swank office, dude in a suit.
Yeah, much better lawyer offices. Now, it's one of those things where it's like, in retrospect, it would have been a great hint if all of a sudden she's just walking out the door and Carrie Ann Moss walks by her.
That would have been cool.
That could have been kind of cool. But, obviously, who you would, Carrie Ann Moss, that wasn't even like a show idea, or it was a show idea at the time, but nothing had even started. But like,
yeah, because they definitely had to see how this is going to land.
Yeah, definitely. But it's one of those things is like, you're kind of wondering, it's like, that would have been a kind of cool way to tie the whole neighborhood together. Because essentially, from the looks of it, all these Netflix shows are taking place in the general neighborhood of Hell's Kitchen.
Yeah, this one is, rooted in Hell's Kitchen, where Jessica Jones is kind of just like more New York City, I want to say, than Hell's Kitchen.
Mm-hmm.
But they definitely exist in the same space. But I think Jessica Jones kind of went a little farther out,
Oh, yeah. Well, like, her business takes her all over the place. Matt really has no urge or reason to want to travel beyond his borders, I guess. You see, because they're all on Battle World, where the secret wars are taking place.
Oh, that would be insane.
So they all have a baron that's overseeing each part. There's a Hell's Kitchen baron. They all report to God, Dr. Doom. Sorry. I'm waiting for Secret Wars to wrap up the big Marvel crossover
That
event.
hasn't finished yet?
No, there's one issue left, I think.
I'm waiting for that to come out on trade.
There's one issue left, and I haven't gotten it yet.
Yeah,
which is weird because they started their all new Marvel stuff already, so you know what happens afterwards. So what's the big holdup?
They just can't figure out how to put the cherry on it.
I guess, yeah. Now this is like I was saying, this is the part of Ben Urich's kind of personal life that really kind of can hit the emotional nerve, as it were.
But it also shows you, Ben Urich is just a nice guy. He goes through all this trouble, all the foot stamping, the chest puffing up to get what he needs done. But then, he also brings her a little treat. So
and we all know what happens to a majority of the nice guys on this show.
Yeah, it doesn't pay.
Yeah, they totally get what's coming to them.
And we find out his wife's. Should I spoil it? I mean, we're already here.
Yeah, but they already know if they're listening. They know already.
Yeah. So his wife's got Alzheimer's, and she's just getting worse and worse. He's trying to figure out how to pay for it all. And there's the cheese splints.
Bribery. It gets you everywhere.
It's not bribery if you give it to her after and she didn't know it was coming. That's not bribery.
That's true. He's just a nice guy, like you were saying. Either that or he's really bad at haggling. You gotta do it properly. Haggle. Yeah.
Now, do you feel like a Rosario Dawson right here would have been too much?
Yeah. Well, for starters, from my gatherers, she's more of like an ER
that's true.
nurse and so forth, so it would be kind of out of nowhere. But also, too, it's like, no, I mean, not everything necessarily. And also, this, as someone who's worked in kind of long-term care facilities like this is very real, like kind of the interactions between the staff and the patient's family and so forth. Like that little community, like she had a good day today. Like you like to check in with the family from time to time and let them know what's going on. And like this, as soon as I found out, like, oh, okay, so this is what's taking place, I'm like, man, this is real. You never see Tony Stark, comforting his Alzheimer's ridden mother.
Well, I mean, I don't think Gwyneth Paltrow is old enough to worry about Alzheimer's just yet.
Oh, dude. Oh, no, there was that one scene in Winter Soldier with Steve and Peggy.
Yeah, there was.
There was that, I guess. Okay, so, okay.
But it wasn't the same, though, because, Steve and Peggy had, 2 weeks together, and they never even, went anywhere with it.
We're talking about, a 20, 30-year marriage here. Probably. It's like, yeah.
Don't think it has quite the emotional resonance, but...
Just a nice reminder that the movie Marvels like to get down there with the common folk from time to time. Yeah, I love these everyday problems. Kick the router. See what happens.
Oh, that fixed it.
Yeah. I love that it says Karen banging on router.
Yeah, just because the office is so crappy, you can hear everything from everywhere.
Yeah, again, speaking a lot to the character of just the settings, too. Everything's just so run down. And here we go. Some Law and Order, Daredevil style. Special Marvels unit. Janton. Yeah, and even then, dude's just so calm and collected. That juror is clearly distressed.
Now, I was saying, if you were a juror, would you be persuaded? Which way would you be persuaded at the ends of these arguments?
Well, honestly, Well, because there's not really any persuasion needed to begin with for certain.
No, but I mean, still, how do you feel? I would have probably still voted that guy guilty because he's creepy as hell.
Yeah, probably. I mean, but ultimately, I think that's what that's how the Kingpin just works it, is the fact that, like, yeah, a majority of the jury would consider him guilty, but you just got to get that one juror to kind of keep everything up in the air.
Yeah.
Because, that's the way it only takes, like, one juror to kind of...
to hang the jury, yeah.
Yeah, essentially. Huh. And even here, where it's like, man, the lengths people will go to.
Yeah. But see, this is where I wonder about Karen Page, because they kind of steal her story for this juror. Like, oh, she's got some pictures that she doesn't want anyone to see, so that's why we got our foot on her neck. But so I'm wondering if they're just gonna do something else for Karen's shady past, or if they're just gonna roll with it, because they kind of let this one out of the bag already.
I mean, they let it out of the bag, sure, but it's only like a momentary thing. Like, this juror never comes back; she's done, essentially. Yeah. Or they say essentially, like, yeah, she's done. Here we go. Here we go. Here we go.
Now we got some fists flying.
Have some gabagool. Sorry, I always imagine like a Tony Soprano type character for this guy, but yeah, it's like, I mean, sure, they let that kind of background out of the bag, but they can go explore it again, I'm sure, and no one's, aside from us, is gonna blink twice.
The only person like, well, that's kind of dumb, but
yeah. The reason we're kind of critiquey is because we've seen this episode like 50 times. So,
yeah, but I don't know. I thought that was kind of, I don't want to say lazy storytelling, but they should have come up with something else.
Well, I mean, it's the implication,
essentially,
but they don't get into detail. Like with Karen, since she is a supporting character, you can get into more detail with regards to the story itself.
Right.
Here, it's just like, oh, some pictures she did when she was younger and is not proud of. And that it's like one sentence and it's done away with.
Yeah, I mean, again, I'm sure nobody is going to really care or remember, that the juror, like, oh, yeah, but in episode 3, the juror had the same problem. But, I just thought it was weird. I'm hoping, again, that maybe they just do something new with Karen. Because, I mean, it could be any number of things that she's not proud of.
Maybe, yeah. I wonder if they will just tweak it slightly to kind of incorporate other aspects that were never really touched upon in the comics.
Yeah.
Off you go, lady with one line.
Guy. I do like how, they show his face after Matt's like halfway through. He's like, is this guy even defending me?
He's like, thanks, man. Wait a minute. That's kind of that's a passive aggressive slight against me, I think. Well, because he knows what's his name, or no, Wesley isn't there right now, I guess. But yeah, he was scoping out the jury to make sure everyone's on the up and up. Yep. Imagine if your defense attorney just zoned out like that in the middle of...
But he's like blind, so you can't tell like what's going on,
In the middle of like his opening statements.
You don't want to say anything.
Yeah, it makes for like a really awkward 2 minutes. Like, sir?
You awake? I can't tell.
Oh.
You know it when you see it.
Yep. Oh, good. He's winning over the crowd. Thank you for that one. And tip your waiters tonight.
Be sure to tip your bailiff.
Just think it'd be kind of funny if John Larroquette from Night Court walked in.
Oh, man.
And Bull is one of the bailiffs.
That would have been great.
Oh, man.
That would have been great.
Looking back on it now, I think Matt Murdock would have been a great guest star on Night Court.
Oh man, Matt Murdock would have killed on Night Court.
Judge Harry, I believe you're out of line. No, I believe.
I'll allow it.
I'll allow it. Oh man, where's that Netflix show? Come on, Marvel. Resurrect the dead Night Court series and put Matt Murdock right in the front of it.
They're reviving every other thing.
Yeah, Full House is getting re-energized, but we can't afford to bring back Night Court. Come on.
Ugh, Night Court was a gem.
I love Night Court.
Mr.
Prohaska.
That was just a really awesome fight scene, though. I love all the fight scenes in the show. They're very well done. And then, yeah, the guy gets his head bashed into the bowling ball.
Yeah. Well, it's all like I was saying, I think what the great thing about it is that it is all close quarters. So for the most part, probably aside from, maybe a couple of Daredevil stuntmen, you have Charlie Cox in there taking a beating probably on camera for the most of it.
Nah, dude. Charlie Cox had to learn kung fu. He took kung fu for 35 years just to do this.
Dude, I believe it. Yeah, it's like
it's good. Yeah, it's pretty seamless. You can't, and it's also a benefit of the mask that they were using. I feel like it, because it wasn't the Daredevil mask, it was actually easier to use stunt guys.
Yeah. It's kind of just like, because at that point, it is just kind of that hood over the top half of your face.
Yeah.
As long as you got like a similar chin or jaw structure, you're fine. Back here we are with Owlsley.
Yeah, he's one of my favorite bad guys in this one, just because he's like your root in realism. I want to say he's a regular criminal.
And again, played by Bob Gunton, who plays the same creepy asshole in every movie and TV show he's in.
If it ain't broke, don't fix it. And if you're good at something, don't do it for free.
Stealing from Mr. Ledger. Different comic universe, sir.
Oh, we're all friends here.
Which, I mean, kudos to Daredevil at least, because due process in Hell's Kitchen in New York goes over so much better than it does in Gotham City, apparently.
Mm-hmm.
It's like criminals actually go to jail, people get the death penalty, a jury of your peers and so forth. In Gotham, it's like, take him back to Arkham. He's clearly nuts.
Yep, he is criminally insane.
So you got to give Daredevil kudos for being a superhero franchise that actually approaches due process with some semblance of reality.
But also, the thing that Daredevil does that Batman doesn't really do is that, like, the people that Daredevil is finished with, they're done. Like, he puts you in traction. You're staying there for a few months.
Oh yeah, true. Like that one Russian dude, he chucked off the
roof. It's just like, yeah.
And so this is the widow of the guy that was killed in her apartment, right?
Yes.
Yeah, that's right.
And I thought this is a really strong scene too. And it's Karen kind of growing up or whatever, but this lady, she's gonna explain it, but she's like, what am I supposed to do? I've got kids. Like, I didn't realize it was gonna cost me this much to be an upright person, and I don't want to pay the price anymore.
Yeah. And I mean, the dynamic kind of just between them in this short scene is the fact that, like, you can tell there's kind of anger about the fact that this girl was somehow involved in her husband's death, but also she's kind of wanting to, like, I want to warn her, but I can't.
Right.
Because I got to look out for the rest of my family now and everything like that. It's like, again, just plays in a lot to all the manipulation and everything like that that's at the Kingpin's fingertips. Yeah. There you go. Like, let it go.
And that's his wife, like.
Yeah. That's a lady who you'd expect she wouldn't be the one to let it go.
Right. Like, yeah, no, I thought this was a really strong scene. I like this lady. They picked her. I mean, I don't know if she's got the right look. Kind of frumpy, just done with everything.
Well, I mean, yeah, if your significant other was brutally killed and
Yeah,
you were offered a huge sum of money to keep your mouth shut about it, you'd probably have a couple of circles under the eyes and everything like that from the moral calamity it is.
yeah. But I'm just like, she's not, like they have everything right here because like the scene, she's not like super hot in her high heels and like makeup done and everything like that. Like
a trophy wife, yeah.
Watching the movers move her crap, like she's moving, you can tell she's doing the work.
Yeah. And from here on out, yeah, Karen ain't gonna let it go.
Nope, she's a woman on a mission,
and that works out well for everybody, especially this guy.
Oh yeah,
heavy foreshadowing in that.
Readers vote for color. Do you think it's gonna end up being a pink line?
That I mean, season 2 is hinging on that decision, man.
I would really love it if they do mention it, though. That would just be...
The pink line is in. Because now Daredevil will be able to get around the city faster.
No?
Because of the pink line that he can't see. He doesn't even know it is the pink line.
Nope. That doesn't make any kind of difference to him.
I love this, too. I mean, I'm glad, like, in this sense that ultimately Matt doesn't win the day here. Even though,
he wins, but he loses.
He wins, but he loses. Because, and you see the impact now of like, oh man, in this short amount of time,
they got to somebody.
They got to somebody. Oh my God, who are these people? Like, yeah,
and yeah, he's starting to realize the scope of what he's dealing with.
And they had to pick the most Aunt May-ish. I hope that's Aunt May. They should bring that lady back for the Spider-Man movie, and that should be Aunt May.
Now, they were going to cast Marissa Tomei.
I know it is Marissa Tomei, but that should have been Aunt May.
I think I'm down for a hot kind of milfy Aunt May.
You know what? Yeah, I guess so too. Yeah, I think Marissa Tomei will do a good job with that. I don't know. Yeah. You were the one who said in your podcast, though, but it's written by the same people who did Vacation. Oh, no, that was Jason.
Yeah.
So
we'll see how that goes.
All right. So here with this interrogation, I don't know. Would you have the commitment of fear for someone that you would put your head on a spike?
Now, the thing to me is, though, like, if this guy was, like, he's capable of putting a spike through his own head.
Mm-hmm.
Why would he give up the name?
Yeah, exactly.
Like, he gave it up and then killed himself. So that I didn't get, but here we go. Here's another excellent use.
Well, I mean, it's more along the lines of like, I gave you the name. I'm dead anyways. I might as well just get it over with now.
Yeah.
But of course, this guy throughout the entire episode has not struck me as being the most mentally stable. Even though he has a pretty good understanding of how the law works in his favor,
yeah, he
still seems a little unhinged. So I guess I could forgive that. Yeah, after that he would throw himself on his own sword, so to speak.
But I mean, like, it's just excellent use of the shadows and the darkness because like these are two stuntmen. There's like neither of them actual actors, but
I mean, this is straight up like this is Rocky type stuff essentially. It's like except for that, but.
But yeah, no, it's just very, very well done. That's Charlie Cox.
Yeah.
And
that's Charlie Cox. And I wouldn't be surprised if there was a little bit of like some camera angle magic done there because I'm not sure. Okay, Charlie, we're going to stick this actual sharp piece of metal as close to your face as possible.
Well, yeah, all you got to do is play with you just do a little different angle and it looks like it's right there in front of his face.
Yeah, exactly. Ooh, man, I love that. It's stabbing him with his own knife and his own hand, technically. It's like, yeah.
I mean, that's a broken... That is an improvised weapon right there. Broken piece of glass. Fisk.
That face.
Fisk. Now I'm gonna kill myself.
Do they do the whole Kingpin kills everyone you've ever known
Yeah.
speech here? Yeah, okay. Maybe that's why. I don't know. They never really established that this guy has much of anything else to lose.
That's true.
You don't give up his name. Okay, discount Michael Rooker.
That's true.
He does look like a kind of a ginger, younger Michael Rooker.
Yep, I see that for sure. Michael Rooker's little cousin.
I ain't even got to taste Terran yet. Which, by the way, you should check out 3 Geeks Network because Max interviewed Michael Rooker.
Oh yeah, that was freaking awesome. Probably one of the highlights of my whole 3 Geeks experience.
Oh, here we go.
I really went for it too.
Is that what Michael Rooker wanted you? So, like, after interviewing Michael Rooker, it's like I can just put a spike through my eye right now. I could die happy.
Yep. I didn't have the balls though. Yeah.
There wasn't anything available too. The convention center was very safe.
Random rusty pipes sticking out of.
Ask a cosplayer for one of their swords.
Can I borrow your axe real quick?
What would have been funny if someone went cosplaying as that dude with a spike in his head and everything.
He's like walk around and like stand up on like just
He's like, what are you, zombie? No, I'm that one crazy guy from the 3rd episode of Daredevil. Oh, now what's your take on Vanessa?
Her whole arc kind of baffles me because it seems like she takes just a huge leap.
Yeah.
I like the chick that got to play her.
Yeah. And that's Jor-El's wife from Man of Steel.
Oh yeah?
Yeah, that's Laura.
All right. Well, she's a terrible mother. But no, I liked her. I especially like when we first meet her. I really did like her because she's still got that elegance. She's got class.
I mean, yeah, you could believe her as being like a curator of this type of artwork and everything. I mean, in a way, like she and Vincent D'Onofrio play off each other well. And I mean, I know Vanessa is a character from the comics, but I don't know. Yeah, you're right with like the leap of faith type thing. Like she's way too accepting of all this fuckery.
Yeah. Like, bam, right in it.
Like, well, I mean, it's coming up in the next episode, I believe. But when she kind of sees like what he's about, or in the next couple of episodes when she sees what he's about, she seems a little too welcoming about it. But anyways, that's for our next episode, I'm sure.
Yep.
Which we will get right back to. But thanks for listening to this commentary of us here on Rabbit in a Snowstorm.
We'll talk more. Let me see the Kingpin.
Well, yeah, we'll talk more about him. I mean, dude, I think the next episode or the next 2 episodes are wholly about him. So
yeah, that's true. The next episode is all Kingpin all the time. All
right, so we'll see you in a bit here for episode 4, which Max got started on a little early, but we'll be right back, everybody.
I'm trying to find the stupid name of it.
Yeah. All right, we'll be right back, everybody.
All right, catch you guys later.